and I'm a 17-year-old developer. And the project I made for this hackathon is brain-controlled CSGO. So I made a Python controller that lets you play the game CSGO, which if you don't know is a first-person shooter game, kind of like Call of Duty. And I made it so that you can play that using signals from your brain. So here's a demo. I hope you enjoy it.
So this is me just starting out the game. You can see that I'm able to select my team using my brain. And this is a clip of me just walking around the map. So you can see sometimes I just shoot. There is some error. This is all brain controlled, so it's not going to be as accurate as using keyboard and mouse. But you can see I'm able to move around the map pretty well, able to get where I want to go. So here are some demos of me actually killing some people. So you can see I killed 2 people there. Walk towards this one, kill him. Yeah, here I can take a full 180-degree turn. So most of this footage is actually sped up because some things take a while and I only have 5 minutes for this video. The reason this 180-degree turn took so long is because the sensitivity of the movement is set really low. Because you can see when I'm shooting, I need really precise movements to aim and shoot. So every time I activate the move, turn left or turn right signal, it moves in pretty small increments. So it takes a while to move. But it pays off when I'm shooting. So you can see here I'm able to shoot over this guy's shoulder, accidentally shoot some of my friends. But I'm able to maintain some accuracy and actually kill some people. This is my favorite clip. So within one go, I'm able to kill 5 people. So that's 2 right there. Third one there over the guy's shoulder. Got better, not killing my teammates this time. Yeah, didn't shoot a single teammate there. Now take a turn. This one's a lot faster than most. And I'm able to kill these 2 guys perfectly. Okay, so I guess that was actually 6 people. And now I just walk away. So here's my setup. You can see I have the hardware board, and then I also have a pair of electrodes for each one of my limbs.
So hopefully you enjoyed that demo. The reason I created this project is because I love Call of Duty and I also have a passion for neurotechnology, so I thought it'd be awesome to combine those two to create something that I've never seen done before. And I think it turned out pretty well. From a technical standpoint, the way that I did this was I used this, which is an OpenBCI controller. This basically takes in your biosignals and then lets me transmit that to my computer. And I also used these electrodes. And basically what happens is these electrodes pick up the biosignals from my body. So I have them connected to each one of my limbs, and that way when my brain decides to move one of my limbs, it sends an electrical signal through my arm. And then these electrodes will pick up on that electrical signal. And so anytime I think of moving my arm, or even just physically move it, that signal gets picked up by this OpenBCI controller. And that's then sent over to my computer. From there, the signals are processed and basically wrote an algorithm to detect whenever I'm trying to move my arms or sending the signal to my arms to move, and then that signal gets translated into computer controls, keyboard controls, that then play the game for me. So this entire project was done in Python. So Python brings in the signals from the hardware, and then the algorithm that I wrote detects all those different electrical signals and these patterns that I'm looking for that indicate that I'm trying to move my arm. And then there's a Python library that lets me control my keyboard and mouse and basically just translate those electrical signals into computer controls. I'll explain how the controls work now. So my right arm would control shooting, my left arm would control aiming, which is a bit similar to how you operate a real gun, right? You aim and then shoot with your right arm. And then movement was completely controlled by my legs. So if I wanted to turn to the right, I just think of moving my right leg. If I wanted to turn to the left, think of moving my left leg. And when I wanted to move forward, I just activate both my legs at the same time, which is, again, I wanted to mimic what it'd be like to actually do this in real life, where, you know, left arm aim, right arm shoot, and then using your legs for movement. Honestly, this hack overall was pretty challenging. Working with biosignals is always tough because these are like, the electrical signals are on a scale of millivolts, which is, it's really sensitive to noise and movement. So the setup I show in the video, that took a while to get ready. Because even if the electrodes shift a bit, you're now on a new piece of skin which has a different resistance, which means that you now have a different electrical signal. So shifting the electrodes even a little bit will give you, it won't give you biosignals, it'll just give you random noise. So making sure that this setup was done well so there's none of this noise and getting the actual signal from your arm and legs, that was pretty tough. Also, detecting all these movements in the actual algorithm was pretty tough because the amplitude of these signals can vary. Like sometimes it's like 50 millivolts, sometimes it's like 20 millivolts, or whatever it may be at the point, just depending on the resistance of that part of your skin. So making an algorithm that was good at detecting these signals in all forms was pretty tough. Like I mentioned before, to my knowledge, this has never been done before. I've seen research papers where people have controlled simpler games like Super Mario or something, but to my knowledge, this is the most sophisticated game that has been played using brain-computer interfaces. In terms of the way the hardware looked, I know all that tape on my legs and arms may look kind of weird. I just did that because you need to keep the electrodes pretty secure on yourself. But I mean, if you want to use this on a regular basis, it wouldn't be that hard. So the electrodes also come in this form, a little patch, it's like a textile. All you would have to do is really just sew that into an armband and like a leg band, and then you have something you can just slip on and off really easily. and then just stick some sort of Bluetooth in there and then transmit that over to your computer. And you have something that can be used in your daily life. It doesn't look weird. You don't have to put painter, like I use painter's tape. You don't have to put tape all over your body. So this can definitely be adapted. It's not always going to look like that, I promise. Regarding the practical uses of this application, there actually are quite a few. So you may have seen in the video, like beyond just playing the game, I was also choosing my team using the program. So the idea is you can use this technology to actually control and interact with your computer. So even right now, there are a lot of neurotechnology companies that are working on creating applications, even games for disabled people. So if I've lost my arm or lost my leg, my brain is still producing those signals. So if I place electrodes, let's say here, but I've lost the rest of my arm, those electrodes can still pick up on the signal. And that's why creating apps that are controlled using electrical signals from your body is awesome, because it can let you interact with technology, whereas you might not be able to do that because you've lost your fingers. If you go to some medical clinics, they actually offer solutions for people using biosignals, where they'll have a keyboard or a computer that's designed specifically for people to control using their brain. But the problem is right now, a lot of them rely on brain implants, where they'll actually do surgery, insert something in your brain, and have you control the computer that way. But that can be super dangerous because, well, one, you're getting surgery. Two, the lifespan of those chips isn't that great, which is why you may have heard of Neuralink, what they're working on. They're working on creating these longer lasting chips that go inside your brain. But this is a pretty great solution for someone who may not be in the condition to get that surgery or doesn't feel that it's worth the risk. So for some more applications for people who aren't even disabled. Right now, a lot of video games, if you play them on a computer, there'll be like 10 to 20 different controls that you need to use at the same time, which can be tough. I mean, you have your regular movement keys, but there's so many other controls and it's hard for you to activate them at the right time. Because yeah, you have your whole keyboard, but like some of those keys are far away. You can't always tell exactly where they are. Some people have gaming mouses with like 9 buttons on them, but like most people don't have that. Even if they do, again, it's not that great. But imagine if you could just like pop on an EEG headset or EMG armband, and then you have all these controls that you can activate through your body, like not just your fingers. Now you can use the rest of your body to also play video games and interact with them in a really interesting way. This would also be awesome for virtual reality. So you saw how I was moving around the entire map just using my brain. One of the hugest problems for VR right now is open world environments. You're limited to the space that you have in your room, so you can't go play an open world game because, I mean, if you wanted to actually walk, it's not possible. So if you had a game where you can actually walk around the world using your brain, I mean, that's awesome. Because some people find it nauseating if you just have a controller. So being able to control that with your brain, first of all, it's a much more interactive experience. And I think it's that one more step towards something like full dive VR, where you just have, you're controlling the body as if it was your own.